The nice thing about Google is you don't need a password to check if an email is valid. And when I typed in the email, I could see that this was in fact the one that was connected to
Holy,
So,
is this like actually real? That can't be real, can it? So today, we're gonna dive deep into the Minecraft Alpha livestream rabbit hole by Zachobuilds themselves. They have 2 videos going over this topic, which is the creepy Alpha Minecraft channel only live streams, and then they have another video that is called This Creepy Alpha Minecraft Channel is live streaming again. And from what I believe, we're gonna dive deep into a channel that is streaming some insanely, very weird Minecraft content. But of course, it's based on the alpha versions of them. I have only played the beta versions and then the 1.0. But we're gonna start off with the first video that was uploaded about a year ago by Zachobuilds.
it's not normal for an Alpha Minecraft channel to suddenly go live, especially in the year 2024. So
Yeah,
when
since
I
it's
saw this
alpha,
live stream
right?
pop up on my feed, I knew it had to be something weird.
So this is what
When I
in
joined, I was surprised to
August?
see an incredibly developed world with tons of buildings and gardens.
Is this
but
alpha
what
even?
immediately struck me as odd was why the players still had such bad tools. It was obvious
Yeah,
that
it's only
many,
stone.
many months had been spent on this world, but yet they had no iron tools or iron
But maybe
armor.
they were locked
I
up,
think
the
I caught the end
tools.
of the stream because as I watched, I could see the player walk around their base, finish construction of a new house, and begin to wander further away from base in search of something. They traveled for a while before even finding any actual trees because their base just had countless empty ones, which is a bit unsettling, but it's most likely just because leaf decay wasn't added until Alpha 1.
I was basically about to ask, like, it's because leaf decay is not here at all, because if you have like one chunk hidden inside the tree, basically the leaves will just stay there, but it makes sense if the leaf decay is like not doing it.
It's a bit unsettling, but it's most likely just because leaf decay wasn't added until Alpha 1.06 and the player... Oh. Okay, maybe it is unsettling.
Wait, so they are playing on a later version. They're playing on version 126, and leaf decay was added in 106. So they're like 2 whole versions ahead of it. So it makes sense in terms of like what I'm saying. They didn't basically like hit the tree too many times. They still have like 1 block at the top that is stopping the leaves from basically going away.
1.06 and the player...
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, maybe it is unsettling. The player then encounters a hole that goes surprisingly deep underground, and then this happens.
What? What? Oh, there was like, wait. There was someone there. Oh, that's just a cactus. Like if you check over the horizon, right? That's gotta be a cactus, right? That can't be a person already, can it? Or maybe they just like messed up their mouse sensitivity. Oh, hell nah, that's creepy.
And then the stream ends. This channel is called Consciousness, but I'm gonna call our player Con because consciousness is a mouthful, much like your mother. But the channel's description describes itself as an Alpha Minecraft uploads channel, despite the fact that it only has 1 upload aside for the live streams, and majority of which don't even go public after they happen. So I turned on post notifications and watched the singular posted video in the meantime.
So that is
It
again.
begins with Con messaging on a sign.
So it's June, July.
An interesting comment, but as someone who started their YouTube channel before I had parental permission to, I could relate. As the video continued, it showed what appeared to be the start of a new world, where Khan is doing all of the typical starting activities, mining wood, making tools, going into caves.
That's a weird cave.
It's odd. Khan appears to be incredibly opposed to entering any caves or underground areas at all. This could perhaps be because Khan is a young child and
they're
is
afraid of the
scared areas,
dark. Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
Perhaps Khan is partaking in a Minecraft but I can't touch the color gray challenge. Either is
probably.
possible. Khan starts to mine out trees and even begins construction of a house. And the area around that house is very recognizably the same area that we saw in that live stream, except this time with many more trees than we see prior. We see Khan place down a sign and type "first home." But then they delete it and say, "look closely," and then deletes that. The video then ends soon after.
What should
Here's
we?
what I had gathered.
What should we look
This
for?
was most likely a child due to the flower gardens and the seemingly being afraid of the dark. They are only given around 30 minutes a day to play Minecraft, and they're not supposed to record it, but they are doing so secretly.
He does know that I'm recording.
What really confused me was the text, "Look closely." I felt there was something here I was missing, and with nothing but time until the next live stream, I decided to recreate parts of the player's base the best I could on a different world, hoping it would potentially reveal something. Jesus, all I'm learning is this guy definitely builds like it's 2010.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But what should we look closely
how
for?
Hard it is to build these off of like random frames from the live stream. Like this is like my old build tutorials, just way too fast, and it's hard to see what the hell I'm supposed to be building. I know this probably seems unnecessary for me to be building all of this, but you'd be wrong, because as I was going through my recording of the live stream, I caught a glimpse of something I hadn't noticed before.
Which
It
is?
was a sign, and I really only had 3 frames to go off of, but across these 3 frames, I'm pretty sure it said one word.
Apple?
Trapped.
Trapped. Oh!
Something bad was happening here. I just couldn't pinpoint any specifics or any concrete evidence as to what.
But why are they trapped?
This sign alone confirmed my gut feeling that something was wrong, and if I didn't do anything about it, I wasn't sure anyone else would.
So we're just gonna wait for the next live stream to appear, right?
I wouldn't get any more answers until the next day when I saw the channel go live again. It picked up exactly where it had left off, with Khan stuck in a hole and appearing to just look around for a way out. They see a 2x1 tunnel and decide to enter it facing backwards in order to keep looking at what limited light.
Yeah, but what if there's someone behind you then?
However, the light is quickly lost, which makes Khan run back to the hole and build out the manual way. Interestingly enough, Khan doesn't go back to their base, and nor do they continue in the direction they were heading.
Why don't they make
last
torches?
stream.
Make torches.
Khan heads to a house in a completely different region we haven't seen before. On their way, Khan finds what seems to be like a glitched dungeon and loots it. But this house is what fascinates me. It's built for seemingly no reason, only surrounded by a singular tree stump. They enter the house and take a long look at this random staircase leading down. Khan stares at this hole for, I'm not kidding, 12 minutes, which was quite painstaking to sit through live.
What about the audio?
My God.
Is there any
They
audio?
do eventually come back and place a bucket that they had gotten from that dungeon in the chest upstairs, and then head to a room, take a pause, head back to the bucket quietly, and then leave the house. Now, this would be weird in and of itself.
Yeah, it
right?
makes no sense
But then
whatsoever.
Khan does it 10 more times for the remainder of the live stream.
Just grabs a
over
bucket?
and over and over again.
That
And
is
it's
weird.
Only until that last run does the stream cut off once again at 30 minutes on the dot. I find this house and what Khan does in it to be very, very interesting, because it's almost like they're trying to rehearse something, like an escape, but it feels like a pretty big jump to assume that just from a Minecraft player leaving a house over and over. But this did worry me, and I began to take this whole situation just a bit more
Yeah, because they did
seriously.
talk about them being trapped, yeah. So we are in July,
Next day, I
right?
joined the stream late because I'm stupid. I missed what I assume was Khan
July.
leaving the house and running back to their base, all the while making some bizarre motions, if I do say so myself. They return to base, and as they do, they message on a sign that says, quote, "I'm glad you're watching." This kind of scared me beyond belief, just because looking at the viewer count, I was certainly the only one watching the stream.
Oh.
But the stream continues on with Khan walking around, placing torches, and then...
But what sounds weird is like, he said that YouTube recommended him this live stream, but that means that YouTube must have recommended it to other people as well, because YouTube can't just recommend this to one person. There must have been more people on it, because the child playing this must have the YouTube dashboard open in order to stream. So that means that that dashboard counts as one viewer. And then our main character, our guy watching the stream, should count as another viewer. So at the bare minimum, the view count should be 2, unless you do have other people that are hopping back and forth on this live stream here.
Into a sort of storage room and organizing some items. However, Khan seems to be sorting these items very, very weirdly, putting random items in specific slots and with random amounts. Khan appears to be partway through doing this when suddenly they turn to a different chest, pause, and then go AFK for a long period of time. when they do come back, Khan actually breaks the chest and watches the sunrise for the remainder of the stream.
What if it's like the letters of the
Except
alphabet?
Not quite. They actually, in the last couple seconds, try to run back to the storage room, but the stream ends suddenly at 30 minutes on the dot.
But what if it's letters of the alphabet?
I waited a live stream on Saturday, but one never happened. And while I was slightly worried, I instead decided to spend the time going through Friday's stream. So my recording obviously was missing that first portion of the stream, but I realized what Khan was trying to do when they were like flailing their character around. If you trace the crosshair, you can actually see letters, which ended up getting me D, and then an O, a W, and then another O. And your guys' guess is as good as mine. I thought maybe it was scrambled, like the word wood, scrambled, but I'm really not sure. So I moved to this chest organization thing. I mean, the blocks that were used were incredibly random, and I tried to find like a common denominator of sorts between all of them, but nothing really came to mind. So I turned to the amount of each item. Khan was very
letters of the alphabet.
Of each item, so I knew there had to be a meaning there. But the answer was right in front of my face the whole time. I mean, if we're assuming that this is a child making it, it's not going to be some complex puzzle or a cipher. It's going to be something easy for them to think of.
Letters.
Each number never exceeds 23, which most likely means these are just numbered versions of the alphabet. Using that, I was able to get NANDCRAFT VICWS
space
GMA. And that makes as much sense to you as it does to me. I did eventually realize that some of the letters make more sense as numbers. So for example, this A should actually be a 1 to spell Minecraft, and switching this C back to a 3 spells the word views. But what confused me was
GMA.
the GMA portion, because obviously it's cut off, but there's no words that start like that. Like, are we talking internet slang for grandma? Like, what? Like here, when I even Google it, you can Oh! The nice thing about Google is you don't need a password to check if an email is valid. And when I typed in the email, I could see that this was in fact the one that was connected.
Holy shit, is this like actually real? That can't be real, can it? Yeah, when I try to log in on it, it doesn't show me the profile picture, the same profile picture that he has on. So there must be something wrong with this.
Khan was trying to give me access to an email, but I didn't know why. Like, should I email it? If I do email it, what the hell do I say? And what was Khan trying to spell out at the start of Khan was live much later than they had ever been before, which was weird, but everything else seemed normal. For this stream, Khan spent most of their time just placing flowers in front of their houses, but Khan was also certainly the most talkative that I had ever seen them be in this stream. Writing on signs saying things like,
I love my house. I like glass. He's watching TV right now. Oh, I should still be careful. I wish my windows could reflect like new life.
there were a lot of these signs to the
Shaders.
point where I don't have time to go through all of them, but the stream finally ends when Khan messages on a sign saying, quote, he's mad. And then the stream ends.
Oh shit.
Not at 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, this stream ends at 25
Why are they-
minutes and 30.
Why are they verified? I want to check that channel because this is actually... I don't know if this is made up or if it's like an actual real story. The channel seems to be real, and the last live stream was 5 months ago. It seems like all of the live streams are essentially available. Why me, 0 ways out, like and subscribe, movements, progress, oak, nothing. And then our latest video is like a year ago, which is like... What about playlists? Do we have any playlists? Full videos. It seems like all of these are already available on the channel itself, but that Gmail account that I tried to find or tried to... This is a fictional... We solved the puzzle. We solved the puzzle, guys. It's not real.
There's a lot to talk about here, so let's break this down little by little. There seems to be an obsession with glass or sand, as well as Khan really liking their houses. We also find out that whoever this, quote, he is watching TV at the time of the stream. This is the second time we get a mention of a he, which is interesting. All of this,
But it's gotta be
doesn't give me
father,
a ton
like
to
dad.
go on, so I loaded into my recreation of the world, which I had added to in between streams to see if anything struck me as odd. But The information was so vague, it was hard to know exactly what Khan was trying to say here. Okay, so the houses are important to them. I could have figured that. Sand and glass is so random. It's a pain in the butt for Khan to get.
It's spelling something.
So why even bother with windows?
It's
and only
spelling.
On one side of the houses.
Turn it upside down. Turn it upside down.
Wait. Of course. Duh. I'm literally blind.
What is kind of ruining this for me is that I went to the channel and we found out that it's a fictional ARG. So if we say that they're lying, let's just say that they say that it's fictional, but it's actually real. That makes it interesting once again, but it kind of ruins the illusion for me a bit when we do get, you know, just in bold text, this is fictional.
Of course. Duh. I'm literally blind.
The password.
Windows.
This is the password.
That's why they're so weird. I thought he just sucked at building. Oh, and that's what he was spelling at the end. D-O-W. It's the end of window. God, I'm stupid. Khan had reflected letters and numbers upside down, so that I guess it would be a little less obvious.
That's interesting that it's censored
You
now.
could see that it was an address. I know it's a big jump to make, but my guess.
That's
is Khan
interesting
is
that
trying
it's
to
censored.
signal me to their address in order to help them, save them, whatever. The only thing holding me back from believing this is how on planet Earth Khan had access to a live stream to a specific channel, and why that was their only means of communication to the outside world. But
there has
I
to be
didn't
another
dwell on
one.
that super long, because when I went to look at this address, unfortunately you get tons of places in various US states, from Kansas to Utah to Michigan, Arizona, all the way to Minnesota. Nearly every state in the US has a road titled Rock Road. I needed a way to narrow it down, so I scoured back through all the footage until I found something that helped. In the very first stream, the time was shown. Khan's time. So while for me, they go live at 11 a.m. every day, for them, it's 12. They were an hour ahead of me, putting them in Eastern Standard Time, which narrows it down a lot. Takes me from 50 states to about 22, which isn't as much
It's half.
as I'd like,
It's
but
half.
Whatever. So I still needed to figure out which state in specific Khan was in, but by the time I could even figure that out, it was time for the next stream.
11th of August.
Khan was not where they had left off last stream. Khan was now deep underground, which is very out of character for them, but had seemingly mined there themselves. Khan began to traverse the 2x1 tunnels that they were in, with only the occasional torch providing them light. Every time Khan would encounter a torch, they would exclusively face it, even if it meant walking backwards, which ended up taking a very, very long time, considering Khan refused to uncrouch the whole time. Eventually, Khan does escape and returns to their base, where they grab a sign and simply say, quote, "He was laughing at me." This is all before roaming around and picking flowers for the
Probably his
remainder
father
of the
laughing
stream.
at him because he's afraid.
This stream was by far the most confusing for me because as much as I rewatched it, I truly could not really understand what was going on. We had never seen a jump in location like this. Each stream always picked up exactly where the previous had, and we can also hear our third reference to him, but this time he is laughing at Khan.
But I believe the purpose of this stream was probably maybe their father, or if we say it's a kidnapper. Let's just say like either father or kidnapper. Maybe they are forcing them to basically not be afraid of the dark. So they are forcing them to play Minecraft in a dark location. And when they are constantly looking at the flames, looking at the torches while walking into the dark, that is why he is laughing at them, because they are not confronting their fears. They are looking at the light while placing down a torch at every corner.
But not much of this stream was humorous. I mean, unless you think gardening is an absolute hoot, then this stream was more unsettling than anything. With this stream especially, I felt like I had hit a wall. I mean, I couldn't do much more with the info I had, except for one thing. I could send this email an email. But I knew if Khan barely had access to Minecraft, then it wasn't going to be them who ends up reading it. So I had to be very, very careful with what I decided to say in the email.
Dear player, due to your long-term participation in our game and Minecraft Alpha turning 15 years old this year, we would like to award you an in-game cape and a matching physical cape. You should already see your in-game cape in the Minecraft launcher menu, but to get your physical cape we will need your shipping information. You can check out the cape as well as provide the shipping information at the link below.
Okay, hear me out. This channel was created in 2010, seemingly as a Minecraft alpha review channel. So, someone was alive 14 years ago and playing and posting Minecraft. My money is it is whoever is keeping this kid trapped.
I am not really a huge fan of him kind of baiting someone into giving him their address. I understand that this is like for the greater good if we're saying that this is a person who is trapped, but basically baiting them with like an entire email saying, oh, you're so good at Minecraft, you've been playing for such a long time, check on this link here. Like, you could have doxed somebody with that. I don't know if that's like their purpose, but they are basically doxing a person by making them click on the link to get a fictional cape in the game that is not actually real.
Okay, hear me out. This channel was created in 2010, seemingly as a Minecraft alpha review channel. So, someone
It
was
feels
alive
very
14
scummy,
years ago
like
and
really
playing
scummy.
and posting Minecraft. My money is it is whoever is keeping this kid trapped. And that link, it will snag the location of whoever ends up opening it. So all I need is for this person to open it and I will be home free. But for now, we wait.
12th of August, right?
Monday's stream was very important because it somehow finally had audio, and not game audio, microphone audio. It unfortunately just seemed very low quality and mostly hard to hear over the loud keyboard sounds, but just past that, I could hear what sounded like someone talking on the phone. It was hard to hear, but it sounded like a man's voice to me, and meanwhile, Khan is wandering around and cutting down some trees, and then they see the hole from the first stream. Khan makes their way over to it, and using some TNT that they had crafted earlier, decides to blow up the hole. And then this happens.
I spent time on that. Wait, so we're talking multiplayer? Wait, so they're playing in this world together. They're like switching. So the guy is playing in the same world as Khan, but they're taking
This
turns.
is the one who made this hole, and it's probably the same person who's creating all the other weird changes that occurred between streams. And most importantly, this person is most likely the one keeping Khan here. Eventually, Khan makes their way back to the house by the tree stump and practices leaving it a couple times before the stream eventually ends. Now, this stream had a lot going on, but the stream that happened the next day was genuinely one of the most saddening things I've probably ever seen.
Oh.
Khan was once again not in the position that they logged off in. This time they were standing in front of a sign that said, "You're not going anywhere," while their house burned to the ground. They tried to get out, but most of the fire had already destroyed the house.
So
Defeatedly, they started to walk back towards their main base,
So he
taking
did-
one last look at what remained of that other house.
So
But
he did that.
Unfortunately, upon returning, they discovered that this same destruction also was on their main houses. This time, Khan made no effort to put out any of the fire. They simply walked around and watched as everything that they spent so long on burned to the ground.
Okay, that's
After a while,
actually
Khan
sad.
does something I've never seen them do before, which is mine into the ground 3 blocks and cover up the hole. And this is how the stream remained for the remaining 30 minutes that were left of the stream. It's clear that Khan feels incredibly defeated. I mean, seeing all of their hard work get completely demolished for seemingly no reason would do the same to me. However, within the last 30 seconds of the live stream, this happened.
Sorry. That's the password.
What I believe just occurred is Khan tricked whoever was watching them, leaving the computer entirely before their 30-minute time limit was up, meaning they could run back to the computer just in time to type whatever they wanted unsupervised. And I'm pretty sure what Khan had given me was the exact password I needed to get into the Gmail account.
What if they have 2-factor? Oh shit, we're in.
The first thing I checked was the YouTube channel. Specifically, I was looking to get any sort of specific location that would help me narrow down exactly where Con was being held. I was able to go behind the scenes on the YouTube channel to see any unlisted or private videos, and to my surprise, I saw tons of privated YouTube videos from 2010 on the channel. They were over 14 years old at this point and looked to be seemingly normal Minecraft review videos. I quickly switched to the live stream tab, where I was able to see a total of 21
How is there
live streams,
copyright
all
on any of
within the
this?
past month, seemingly done by Con. I clicked on one and I got to see the beginnings of Con building their house and exploring the world. They would occasionally write on signs asking if anyone was watching, but would eventually move on, seemingly knowing the answer. It broke my heart to go through these old streams and see Con slowly focus less and less on exploring and building, and more just keeping to their base. But I still needed to figure out information about Con's location. So I opened Google, went to the account settings, there was nothing to be found. So I went to the email, and I found a few things. Firstly was my email, which was open, but had no
Trashed.
response,
It was
which when I
trashed.
opened it, didn't exactly buy my story. There were a couple of sports news subscriptions, but none of them had any specific location info. I had scoured through most of the account and somehow couldn't find a single location or state. How? How do you have a whole account and none of it has information about where you live? I switched back over to YouTube, trying to find any information I missed over there. Watch history. Dude,
No videos?
who clears their YouTube search history? Subscriptions,
No
we have...
Mr.
Oh,
Beast.
wait, yes. Michigan State. It suddenly all made sense. From the sports subscriptions to watching TV on Saturdays during the live streams. Even the password being Wolverine was from the Michigan Wolverines, the football team.
So
I
we know
typed
that it's
everything
Michigan.
I had into Google Maps and immediately recognized what I saw. I had the right place. It was the house with the stump in front of it. This was it. I knew no one would ever believe my story about finding all this info out through a Minecraft live, but it was just enough information to leave an anonymous tip about a child who, after some quick research, I found out went missing in Lake Michigan a few months before the live stream started.
You know what? I believe the reason why they probably censored the address and censored a bunch is because people probably showed up to that location. Because when we go back to the Google Maps section, there's like a lot of censored locations inside of like the YouTube editor. So they probably did that because this is like almost an invasion of privacy. Like if you're using a real life location for your YouTube video, your fake ARG kind of video, that puts those people in that real life location at stake. I can imagine Michigan, they have like a lot of places called Rock View. So I don't know how careful we have to be because this, or like Rock Road, this video is still like uploaded on YouTube. This video is still monetized. So I believe that we are good enough. Oh wait, something. This video is a fictional story created for the purpose of storytelling and entertainment. I created the story and all of the evidence that you see throughout this video. The channel does in fact exist and the story will be continued there. I apologize if you made it through the video thinking this was real the whole time. It was never my intention to play with people's emotions besides just creating what I thought was like a cool piece of unfiction that people could get invested in. Going forward, I'll be better in including disclaimers in the video itself. Okay, so we know that this is fake and that tree stump could be like another entire location. Like it could be some other state than Michigan basically. So all we're seeing here, even probably the email address and the login is fake as well. For the sake of it, play along and see how far this goes.
I found out went missing in Lake Michigan a few months before the live stream started. I just hoped it was enough. I found a police report a few days later. Apparently, the kidnapper had gotten away, but the child was found. The report contained a conversation between an official and Con, who I learned was actually one Levi Goldings. The conversation went like this.
Hi there, Levi. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. Is that okay? Can you remember what happened when you were first taken? That's okay. Can you tell us anything about the man who took you? Anything about what he looked like, what he wore? That's incredibly helpful. How about where you kept it? Did it ever change? Did he ever move?
He would only keep me in the basement. It was dark and cold and gray, which is why I was afraid of going to the mines.
I'm sure that was very scary. remember any sound or noises that stood out to you in there?
I was here crying sometimes. It was really scary.
That's okay. You've been incredibly helpful. You can go back to your family now.
Now, what I'm about to say isn't gonna sound great. I'm more than happy that Levi is back with his family, but something still felt wrong. A, I wanted to know how the kidnapper had gotten away, and B, a lot of things just didn't make sense to me still. When Levi was in the Minecraft house, he never went in the basement. So if that's
Because
all
he
we
was
ever
kept
knew,
in the basement.
how could he have built a replica of the house so accurately when he was playing Minecraft? When we watched him like practice escaping, it wasn't from a basement that he was being held in.
Oh
It was
shit, you're right!
of sorts. He could look out the window. And overall, the way Levi describes being treated doesn't exactly align with someone who was allowed to start playing Minecraft every day as like a birthday treat. Oh my god. The birthday. Levi was born April 21st, 2015, but on that very first YouTube video, when the world was started, Levi said it was his birthday. That was July 2nd.
That doesn't make
There
sense.
were 2 kids in the house.
Oh, that actually gave me goosebumps. Holy shit! That actually really gave me goosebumps. So we have one that's afraid of the dark, and the other one who's outside building. It's hard. Sometimes. Actually, or facing your fear. I am certainly so invested in this. I felt like it was a little bit tame at first, you know, exploring how the rabbit hole actually is. But now when we know there were 2 children in that house, and we only successfully got one of them, the stakes are even higher. And I am so happy that we have another video. Oh, shit. So, after this video came out, okay? This video came out about a year ago, September 8th. So if we check out the channel real quick, we have one video available. But then as you can see here, if we go back to streamed more than a year ago, streamed more than a year ago. Then you do have like a pause between 11 months and 6 months. You basically have a stream every single month, and the last stream we got was like 5 months ago. And that would make sense in terms of like the next video we're gonna check out. This video came out May 17th this year, and the last live stream that is on the channel was April 13th. So about a month was spent making this video in order to tell the story. I can't seem to find the live stream where it puts down the signs. Like, I keep on reading again and again. Maybe this is like a teaser for like the new video, but I looked through like most of the older live streams from like 7 months and back. Maybe it's this one waiting? It's not. So none of the live streams basically showcase the one scene with the signs we saw back here, where we do have like the story of, is it more scarier than looking backwards or looking forwards? But instead of yapping, we can check out the next video. The Creepy Alpha Minecraft channel is live streaming again, and as we do know, there is one more kid in the house.
The early days of Minecraft are often referred to as the purest form of the game. However, there's nothing pure about the Alpha Minecraft live streams found on the Consciousness YouTube channel. It has since been revealed in a popular YouTube video that this channel features a child who is in danger and is secretly live streaming their Minecraft content in hopes to give people directions to their ever-changing location.
But he was the guy who uncovered it.
The first live streams since this channel gained all this attention, the chat was absolutely filled with people who had truly no idea what was going to happen next. And that is truly one of the scariest things about this channel. The stream begins with the player already having some decent tools and going right away into a cave, which is actually the...
So if we're looking at movements now, if we can backtrack just a second, that means that movements, we don't see a... Movements is here, so that means need out. Need out has to be that video then, where we saw all the signs, or the city burning down, anything burning down. There is nothing. Like, we have like 5 minutes, or we have like 10 minutes at the end where he's just like staring at a window, but we don't have that one scene with the signs that I want to check out. But the newest video is movements.
The first time out of all the known previous live streams that we see the player enter a dark space. They are mining and occasionally writing messages to the viewers.
Car. Drove for a while. Felt like 5 hours. It was only 4, I guess.
This is incredibly helpful, but don't get used to it, because this is hands down the most straightforward thing Khan says to us from here on out. For the rest of the video, Khan just seems to be playing the game normally until they decide to build a base. But not just any base. They build up to the sky and begin to construct some sort of sky base, potentially to try and make it more difficult for someone to find or reach. But we get one more live stream after this where Khan is just doing some pretty basic activities, building their base further, and even says,
"I'm doing better today."
Which is a very sweet sentiment. However, this is the last thing we would hear for Khan before they disappeared for 4 months. And that's where this story really begins.
All content is fictional, viewer discretion is advised.
We rejoin the world months later, and Khan seems a bit disoriented, probably because they haven't been able to play on this world for ages. After getting their bearings, Khan, weirdly enough, decides to leave the base they built and starts to construct a new base. Now, this could perhaps signify the moving of their location in real life, because in previous live streams, Khan would recreate their surroundings in Minecraft. And this would certainly make sense, especially considering it's been so long since Khan has last updated us. But the real issue here is the house that Khan decides to construct looks unlike any house you would ever find in real life. I mean, it's built into the side of a mountain and seems to go into it pretty deep.
So it's like a bunker.
This confuses me because
it's definitely a bunker.
With the sky base, for example, it didn't visually look like anything in real life.
A bee.
But that could have just been Khan trying to depict a tall building like a hotel or apartment complex. But this is just downright odd. We nearly finish the new house, and the stream ends as we watch the sunrise. Now, this stream is eerie to me. Khan isn't nearly as talkative as they typically are, and I've checked all of these chests for codes like ones Khan has used to spell out something prior, but there was nothing. Something has changed from the last time we saw Khan, and my guess is the man has begun to watch Khan much more closely than he would prior, which means it's not going to be as easy for Khan to signal us as to what is going on or how we can help. So we're gonna have to pay much closer attention, and as it turns out, I'm not the only one paying close attention to the Consciousness YouTube channel. I found official investigations looking into this case ran by a Detective Collins. There were specifically attempts to track the live stream connection, which appeared to be unsuccessful. Not much information was being made available to the public, which made sense considering it's an ongoing case, but I was able to check back into this case from time to time to see if they posted any new information.
And there was nothing, right? February 23rd.
The next stream happens the following weekend per usual. Khan seems like they want to go adventuring, so they head off to explore the world. Considering this is still alpha Minecraft, there's not really much to find or discover, but we continue nonetheless, and Khan messages to us on a sign and says,
"This is fun."
This is really positive, but honestly, it almost worries me more than anything. I mean, is Khan becoming like used to this situation they're in? And what happened in those 4 months that they were gone? And what changed so that they could start playing Minecraft again? Well, anyway, as we're exploring the world, you might have caught this moment. Did you see it?
The cow spawning out of
Basically,
nowhere.
in the corner of our eye, we can see what looks like the ruined remains of Khan's first base.
Oh,
Khan
I thought I
quickly,
saw
like,
the
snaps
cows.
away from it and walks in a different direction.
But the cow spawning.
This confirms for me that this is the exact same world that we saw in the first half of the live streams. But Khan's behavior here is just odd, because the second any of this happens, they try to play it off and then immediately head back to their base and log off. Let's assess what we know thus far. Khan continues live streaming a little bit after their channel goes viral and says that they drove in a car for what felt like 5 hours, but it was only 4. If we know Khan started in Michigan, we can assume what Khan is confused about is the time zone change. Khan was most likely keeping a close eye on the time, even counting the hours. But if they suddenly switch from Eastern Standard Time to Central Standard Time, then the time would get sent back an hour earlier, which would make it look like they arrived wherever they got to an hour earlier than they actually did. Unfortunately, this doesn't really narrow it down a ton, but it doesn't matter because at this point, 4 months have gone by, and clearly by moving bases, Khan is no longer where they were prior. But since this gap in time, Khan seems to have really changed. Their actions are a lot less driven or purposeful, but that could also be a side effect of them being more heavily watched by whoever is holding them. This video was titled Oak, which intrigued me because I feel like it stands out a little bit among all of the other videos that we have seen up until this point. So I decided to go back to the stream and kind of scour through the footage looking for any of the oak trees that maybe had some sort of symbol in them or information, and it was during this process that this happened.
C.
Prior to this
an
moment,
iCard.
Khan had never been able to do much of anything with the YouTube channel itself. The descriptions were always left blank, and the titles were the only signifying thing about these videos. So while I was wary of this video, it seemed that this time around, Khan had more access to the actual YouTube channel itself when they aren't playing Minecraft. This unlisted video appears to be taken from a really old phone, and we can't see much, but we can sort of hear this.
Can we uncover this video ourselves? If we go into Oak, right? Where's Oak? Maybe there's a comment, or maybe if we check in C. I'm trying to hear what he's saying, but it's actually super hard to understand because like the quality is so bad and the volume is so low. No matter what, it's fine or in the past. Nonstop, always something. Thousands of. Exactly. Oh, there, he got busted.
This was enough confirmation for me that Khan is certainly still in a very bad situation despite what they may be being forced to say on the main stream. Checking back in with that police case, the department seemed to have released a region map of where the suspect could be. It's a pretty wide area, but appears to almost align with what I thought prior when we were talking about the time zones. They also released the make and model of a car alongside a license plate asking if anyone sees the car to
Subaru.
contact the authorities. But besides that, I just had to wait until the next live stream.
Whoa. Nothing.
The next live stream shows Khan trying to get materials and organize their base a little bit more. So in a previous live stream, we had seen Khan sort of organize a chest in coordination with the alphabet in order to spell something out. So I, as well as the rest of the chat, was trying our best to decipher anything that could be spelled out here. But it was interesting because when Khan had done this prior, they were being very intentional with the items in just one of the chests. But this time Khan was being just as intentional with all of their chests. But as hard as I looked, none of the items seemed to spell anything in the same way as last time. But then I thought about it a little bit.
It's spelling out
and
letters.
I realized that there are other ways to form letters. Like, for example,
I.
these items here form
L.
an L. I also can see an I for sure, and then
T.
maybe this is an R, but it's hard to tell. Additionally, not all letters can actually be formed as easily in a 3x3 grid. The issue here is there are assortments that could easily be multiple letters. Like this could be a P or an F, or even that I from before could be a Z technically. But either way, there's not enough letters here to actually form something, and it seems like Khan got too frustrated to continue. So overall, I knew something was still wrong, and it felt like I was just inches away from finding it.
But then it hit me, right? Around.
Khan goes live again, but they seem to be in a different place than when they logged off. Now, we've seen this before, but previously when Khan would log on somewhere new, it was a sign that the man had logged on to Khan's world and had done something bad to it. Whether it was creating a giant underground maze or even burning down Khan's entire base, it never meant a good thing. This time, nothing seems to be super out of the ordinary. Khan plays for a bit, mining down some of the trees for resources, when suddenly Khan says,
"Think I gotta go, time for dinner."
Hey, what? First off, Khan has always been allotted 30 minutes to play per week, which is incredibly little, so offering it up willingly is
Maybe
an
the day
incredibly
has shifted.
bizarre move. And secondly, saying it's time for dinner is odd because this stream should have happened around 1 p.m. local time. So I'm not sure whether to take this as another extreme move or something else. Overall, this stream just feels odd, and I just continued looking through the video for anything out of the ordinary, especially considering the logon locations were different, but I just saw some weird terrain, and that was about it. However, when I went back to get the footage, I saw another one of those unlisted videos pop up, and that's where I saw this. Khan was getting more and more bold. It seems like they have access to some sort of camera or phone, but either way, it's certainly old and presumably with no internet service.
Yeah.
But this worried me because, sure, there wasn't a ton here, but Khan has to be sharing this with us for a reason, right? I just didn't know what to take away from it. Even turning up the exposure, there's nothing here. And I didn't understand it until I watched the next live stream.
There are letters hidden in it. Is it everything? Everything, yeah. Wait, is that the live stream? Is the live stream? Whoa. Whoa. But how does he have internet connection out there? I mean, that means that the phone that he's using must have some sort of connection to the YouTube dash board?
This broke my heart. I mean, it is now beyond clear with Khan trying to run away that they do not want to be here. But without any sort of address or knowledge on where Khan is, there's nothing that we can do about this. Something had changed for Khan to get to the point of running away, maybe being more heavily supervised or something else. It just sucked because, as I found out next live stream, this attempt to run didn't work. It was around this point that I received an update on the ongoing case that was being formed. I only noticed about 2 changes. The first was that the detective had been changed and it was now one Detective Robertson. There hadn't really been a public statement as to why this was, but I assume it's relatively routine with cases like these. And secondly, and more importantly, there was a suspect. Gerard Steller was now listed. No image was listed, and I couldn't find much online to get any more information, but at least it seemed like there was progress. After a good long while of waiting, another live stream happened.
Preview, I remember seeing that.
Makes sense that it would take that long because if Khan ended up with the man again, they certainly wouldn't want to let them play Minecraft after they just pulled something like that. But it just sucked that it seemed like all of that work Khan did to try to run was for nothing, and even the live stream gave us nothing to go off of. In this new live stream, it was as if the previous one had never happened. I mean, the VOD wasn't posted after it was streamed, so it's clear that Khan is just trying to go back.
Whoa, so everything is gone? Wait, are you telling me that everything is gone? Need out, live streams, everything. Yeah, between around not, so everything. What if we go to the playlist, right? Playlist here. Everything. There's everything. Oh my god, we have the entire live stream of every... That means we could potentially also find the playlist for the one with the signs. Or the video for the signs. But what happens when he gets busted? That's really what I want to see. So we just have like a lot of running in the woods. And the phone is glitching because of the signal. They're hiding behind a tree. Seems like they try to hide for as much as possible. There's a flashlight. There's someone running over there. And then it just... Oh... And then it just ends. Follow the road. Find safety. Find any house and get help. Do we have any other videos in here? Yesterday around, like and subscribe, progress, movement, trying, and then I need out. So we don't really have, again, the video with the signs being placed.
Playing the game as they normally would. However, this time, Khan really doesn't seem to know what they're doing. They wander around the world a bit, try to craft something, but seem to struggle to remember how to craft it. And then at one point, Khan even goes completely AFK for a while, which is incredibly weird. And when they do come back, they seem to snap back to reality a bit and start getting materials to extend their house. It's truly impossible to understand what could have happened in that time that Khan went AFK. I mean,
almost
maybe
9
the
minutes of
man
AFK.
wanted them to go do something, or they could have even been reading the chat for a bit, which, by the way, Khan has never acknowledged, so that feels pretty unlikely. But overall, this stream, when next to the previous one, really sticks out when it comes to how chill and nonchalant it is, and it is that type of juxtaposition that would continue on to this next live stream. This stream had Khan talking and conversing with the viewers probably the most they ever have. They said things like,
I'm doing good lately. Just been enjoying things. Minecraft is fun too. You don't need to worry a lot.
there are two scenarios here. One is that this is actually Con and something has changed recently and they're doing a lot better now. Or alternatively, this is someone else forcing Con to say these things and is trying to get us to stop looking into this situation. But it feels clear, based on some of the things we've seen at this point, that things are in fact not fine. It was around this time that I discovered something on the Consciousness channel. There had always been a very few amount of categories depicted on the channel, but I noticed that one new one had been added.
Playlists.
It was a playlist tab, and when I clicked it, I saw just a basic videos playlist. But what was weird to me is it didn't have all of Con's videos inside of it. And I'm not talking about all of the unlisted ones. I'm talking there were several videos that were public on the channel, but not on this playlist. The videos that were on it were Need Out, Oak, Movements, Everything, Progress, Like and Subscribe, and Around, which meant the videos not on it include 0 Ways Out, Why Me, and then also Are You Watching and Very Cold, which are 2 streams that are not posted currently.
What if it's sending us a message? Need out, movement, everything, progress. Maybe it's something about making progress, but I need a way out.
After they were streamed. I wasn't sure what to do with this information. I tried to see if those words could somehow tell a story, like things like movements and progress seem related, but beyond that, I didn't know what to make of it.
Oak and Like and Subscribe doesn't really make
Con
sense.
was actively adding more videos to this playlist, so I guess we just have to wait and see if any more gaps would get filled in with this final live stream.
Trying.
The live stream starts and Con is underground in a long tunnel. Now, this should be familiar because it happened a few other times prior in the live streams where
what the other
we
guy's been
assumed that
playing.
the man had played on Con's world when Con wasn't playing and put them in dark tunnels to try to mess with Con and scare them. However, Con doesn't seem quite as fazed by it this time, and it's probably because they've had to deal with this so many times. But it's interesting though. The tunnels are very long and much more complicated, but Con seems to pretty much find their way out first try, which is incredibly odd to me, but honestly good for them because they get back to the surface and get back to life as normal. Let's talk about this tunnel though, because in the history of this channel and its videos, we've seen roughly 2 tunnels. There was this one at the bottom of that 3x3 pit that Con later tried to blow up, and then there was a longer, much more notable one in this stream that Con spawned inside of. Now, both of these tunnels were 2x1, meaning bare minimum of what you have to mine to make a tunnel to walk through. And absolutely 0 ores were mined when they were encountered. It was just a straight up tunnel. But this time around, we can see gaps where presumably ores were mined, and this is confirmed when we look at Con's inventory. So whoever made the tunnels, in my opinion, was not the same person who made the tunnels the first time, also known as the man. Potentially there is a third unknown person that could also be in the mix, but this is a lot to draw from some very minute differences, and some more things happen during this live stream. Con actually starts talking to us again.
Hey guys, just want to say, thanks for all your help. This is my last stream, I think. I'm honestly good.
However, as Con continues to try to light up the area, this happens.
And they get killed. What about respawning? They're done. They're done. What about respawning? And boom. Score is
Con
0.
then respawns and looks around, seemingly a bit lost, before suddenly snapping back to reality and starting to run in the direction of their base. We pass by the initial sky base and then finally arrive back at the normal base, and Con gets all their stuff back. Con messages on a sign and says,
Thanks for watching.
And they log off. But did you see that? Con typed 2 additional letters there, CL. Now, to understand what this means, we have to go back all the way to the first video ever posted to this channel, and to this day, the only public video on the channel. Con writes on a sign above their base, look closely. So I believe what Con wants to say here is thanks for watching closely. So I did just that. When Khan first dies, they initially seem to not remember which way to go, and once they do remember, they head in that direction non-stop, barely moving the direction of the character. But you know what they do move? Their cursor. It's barely noticeable, but we've seen something like this before. Khan would write out letters by almost drawing them with the crosshair, and this time it seems to also spell
T-I tit.
Now, these were really hard to read, so it's not surprising that I would miss a letter. So I have no doubt in my mind that this is saying titles. So I took a closer look at all of the video titles, and I discovered a few things. And the first was honestly incredibly sad. Now, I didn't catch anything with the recent videos, but when I looked at the first 7 videos that I covered last video, I realized something. The first letter spells out a word, but it wasn't a word I ever would have registered. It spells out W0LVRNE, which, if you remember, ended up being the password used to get access to the YouTube channel. Khan had been trying to spell it out for me the whole time. It's the same reason that when I did get access to the account, all of the live streams prior to the first one I saw started with the letter W. Khan was waiting for someone to join the stream so they could start spelling out the password. I felt terrible, but this is all in the past. I obviously tried to apply this same concept to the videos that had already come out after that point. However, nothing worked or made any sense. But that was when I remembered the playlist. I hadn't checked back in on it in a while, and it turns out both streams that had happened since then were added to it. Now, the whole time in the back of my mind, I've wondered what would have happened if the man had found out that Khan had been live streaming. I assumed that he would probably just make Khan stop streaming, but when the streams kept happening after that gap in time, I assumed that Khan still hadn't been caught yet.
Oh shit!
But I don't think that's true anymore. We're not watching Khan. This whole time, I've struggled to piece out even the smallest hints from Khan's gameplay, trying to get some information on where they might be, and I assumed it was so difficult because Khan was being more heavily watched, but it was actually because it wasn't Khan at all. It was the man. It wasn't until he died that he needed Khan to come in to bail him out, because he didn't know
the location
to the base, because
shit,
that
dude!
first base was built by Khan, and the man had never been at spawn before. The man had been trying to do some damage control with the number of eyes on this channel, so he live streamed himself as Khan, saying that everything was all right, and bit by bit restored people's faith that maybe Khan was okay. And Khan was forced to watch the whole time and even run the YouTube channel so that everything would appear the same as when Khan would title everything themselves. This meant that all Khan had to cue us in were the video cards and making a playlist in order to try to communicate.
Because he had
with us.
access to the
But
channel,
I realized something. If the man had been the one playing on the streams, then who had been playing in between streams? Maybe Khan wasn't able to stream anymore, but maybe they were still allowed to play. I had focused on getting information out of the streams themselves, but I needed to focus on what was happening in between streams.
End of Oak, start of... Whoa.
The last time the man knew I had gotten into his account, he knew someone was coming, but this time, he has no idea that I just got the final bit of info that I needed to put an end to this.
Bliss Drive, 118 Bliss Drive, so they got him. Holy shit.
Police took 33-year-old Gerard Steller into custody on April 20th, 2025. He had fled from a house he was hiding in Michigan all the way to Illinois, and with him, he took his 13-year-old daughter, Evelyn. She detailed to the police her attempts to live stream her location in hopes of bringing her dad to justice for the things that he had done.
He put me in homeschooling. He noticed I was really missing my brother. He said he would make it better, but I didn't know what that meant.
What did it mean?
I never would have complained if I would have known.
Hey, none of this is your fault after all. Is this what he's telling you, Levi?
Let me explain. Gerard Steller, the father, had recently gotten in a divorce with his wife Erin Collins. Now, if you recognize that name, it's because she was listed as an approving officer on this case, and she got removed from the case at the same time that they listed Gerard as a suspect. During their divorce, their 2 children were separated, and each parent was granted full custody of one of the children. This doesn't happen often, but in this case, it was decided that it was for the best, and Evelyn went to live with her dad while her brother Gabe went to live with his mom. When Evelyn expressed that she missed her brother, Gerard apparently took things into his own hands. He kidnapped Levi Goldings and kept him in the basement of a house in Michigan.
So Levi is just like a random guy?
Birthday, so I asked to play Minecraft on his old laptop. I planned to call someone, but he was watching me most of the time.
Like watching the screen?
Yeah, but he would walk away for a bit, and I clicked on something that looked like it would signal for help, but it was like a recorder.
What kind of recorder?
It did the scream. Eventually I figured out it could live stream in the background while it played, and you couldn't see it.
Did you know where it was streaming to?
Not at first, but at one time, my dad told me that before I was born, he used to record YouTube videos about Minecraft.
So that makes sense now.
I assume that's where it went to. So when my time was up to play, I managed to find the login information and write it down.
When I managed to gain access to the YouTube account, there
That
were
makes sense.
videos
That
from
makes sense.
early 2011 that were now privated. These were what Evelyn was talking about. It was exactly why she was able to stream so easily, because it was all already set up from all those years ago. But what I was curious about most was what happened when Levi was first saved.
I was trying to share as much information as I could during the streams until one day my dad rushed in and told me we had to go. I thought we were going back to his other house, but we drove for a while.
Is that when you figured out you were live streaming?
Not right away. I played 2 more times after that before he caught me. He was really mad.
And then he did damage control.
No, but he said I was going to fix my mistake.
How so?
At first, I had to just lie to my mom on the phone. I told her we were still in Michigan, but a bit later, Dad told me the attention from the streams wasn't going away, and I had to help him make it go away.
What did he have you do?
He had me set up the streams the same way I did. He wanted it to look exactly like I was playing, and then he tried to convince people that nothing was wrong anymore. But eventually, he let me play again, as long as I was recording. So I built things in the world to call for help, hoping someone would.
That's smart. That is so smart.
And what you did was incredibly brave, Evelyn, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
I'm just glad it's done.
So was Gabe and Levi the same person, or did he just like kidnap a random person in order to make Evelyn happy?
A video detailing the full timeline of events can be found for free on my Patreon page. I hope you all have enjoyed this story as much as I have creating it, and if you want some super cool consciousness merch, you can check it out using the link below. 100% of all the proceeds will be going to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Nice.
And I'll include the link to their page below if you would like to donate yourself. Thank you to all my Patreon members for their support and for enabling me to do these projects, and I hope you will all stick around for some of the things that I have in store going forward.
That was actually a really, really cool series. One of the things that kind of threw me off that I wasn't really a fan of was that he had to point out multiple times that this is like a fake story, and I understand that you have to point out when something is fake or made for the purposes of entertainment. But we have watched a lot of ARGs and a lot of rabbit hole videos on this channel here before. The story is so out there and so messed up, or it's like, it seems so fictional that you can kind of put 2 and 2 together and then figure out that it is fictional. But the fact that we have to point out, you know, in the start of the video, in this video's description, in this channel here, you know, this is a fictional Minecraft ARG. I feel like this ruins the ARG entirely. And I know that in the first video that we saw that he mentioned in the comments down below, that this was made for his way of telling a story, learning how to tell a story, which he actually really improved on the second video. There are certain words you can use to keep your video online on YouTube, make sure that it's monetizable and it doesn't break any guidelines. I know when it comes to like minor safety and topics about children being in danger, YouTube are standing behind you with a squad of 20 snipers. And if you say the wrong word, or if you think the wrong thought, the 20 snipers will all shoot at the same time. And that is just how YouTube works, because there has been a lot of times on YouTube where children has been in danger because of certain groups, certain individuals. And I don't even believe that I can say more than that, because as long as we start talking about children, again, sniper squad, 20 snipers are aiming at my forehead right now. This video could be demonetized, age restricted. We could get a community guideline strike just because we talk about children being in dangerous situations. Even that sentence alone, will include it in the video, I'll make sure the editors know. But even that sentence, children in dangerous situations, puts YouTube on our ass. So I do understand when it comes to topics and ARGs about minors, then of course you need to state this is a story, this is a fake. It almost seems like the address in like the first video was almost like a real location, and that's probably why they decided to censor it. So that video went through a whole lot of edits on YouTube itself, on the YouTube dashboard, in order for it to still be either monetizable or public. Or maybe the video did get like a channel takedown or like a video takedown, and once they got it up again, maybe they could manage to somehow fix it. But other than that, I got goosebumps so many times when he said there were multiple children in the house. When we went through the cave and it spelled out different letters and words, I got goosebumps when that happened. And that was absolutely amazing. Again, the only thing that kind of ruins this for me is when you have to like really spell out, this is fake, this is not real, it's an ARG. This is made for the purposes of entertainment. I feel like I've done enough yapping for this one, but be sure to check out Zachobuilds. Check out their channel, subscribe to them, watch their videos. They recently made one called Found Footage of a World That Knows You. Looks extremely interesting. Some of their videos look super interesting. If you want me to check any of these like on the future, like for example the found footage or the murder mystery where the game bled into real life, if you want me to check out any of these in the future, do let me know so I can do that. But for now, thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, let me know your theories in the comments below, what you believe about all of this entire rabbit hole here. And with that said, I will head out.